It's vloggy time. Hello. According to my watch, it is still Saturday, the 22nd, I think. Oh, it's the 23rd. Oh, jolly me. So basically, today, ooh, it's chilly in here. Today, what did we do? You wanna know what I did? Okay, I'll tell you. I went to lunch. It was me, my grandmother, my father, my mother, my brother, and my nephews. And there's like this cute little little restaurant thing. It's like all like natural organic-y stuff. But they have like, you know, like regular stuff like hamburgers. It's not like a vegan place. And it's called Fresh. It's called Fresh, or Fresh Market, or whatever it's called. And so we're like, it's close to where, you know, my brother and his family resides. And it's like, because after lunch, you know, the boys are going to go home and take a nap. So it's like, why not just get close to home? And we got there first, actually. Me, my mom, my grandma, we were all in one car. And we got there first. And, like, we got to pull to the ramp. So, like, I helped my grandma out. So she doesn't, like, fall and trip and kill herself. And I'm like, it looks kind of dark in there. And my mom's like, is it even open? I'm like, well, the stools and chairs and whatnot, they're kind of like upside down on a restaurant, like kind of like when it's closing time. So you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So I'm like, Grandma, like just stay in the car. Let me check it out. So I walked over to the door, and it was like pitch black inside. Like literally, like it wasn't open. So we're kind of like, now what do we do? So then we're like, well, we could go to like this restaurant, this other restaurant, which is actually closer to where my dad lives. So we call my brother to be like, this Fresh restaurant is closed. Like, would you want to go to the Far Hill train station? So, which is now like, no, it's called like the Butler's Pantry. I don't know what the frick it's called. But it changed its name, but we just call it the Far Hill train station. So then, oh, what I wanted to show you is in the kitchen. Oh, well, whatever, I'll just talk about it. So, so then, it's funny because, like, as we're driving this way, my brother that's coming this way, I say, hey, because he'll, like, turn around. So then we all meet up there, and right when we all pull in, like, a train is going by. And, like, my nephews got so excited, like, train, train, train. And then the train leaves, like, bye, train, bye, train. And then it was, like, really cute because I just kept going, bye, bye, train, like, bye, train. So then, we sit inside and, like, up on the ceiling. This is funny because I think my friend Michael, he's eaten there a lot, I think. Or he's in there enough times. But when I went there with him for the first time and I talked about on the ceiling, there's like, it's like plexiglass or plastic, I don't know. And it's a train track and like a train goes around. I pointed it out and he didn't know that was there. I'm like, really? So, the boys, they saw that and they're just like, train, choo choo, choo choo, choo choo. And like, it was just like really cute. And then the one, my nephew, he was like playing my grandma's cane, like walking around, actually like using it properly. Like just like cute with this giant cane. It's like cute and funny. So then, after lunch, the boys went back home. My dad took my grandmother home. And then my mom and I hopped in the car and we headed over to Costco. And I'll just tell you, on the weekends, it is like crazy ass busy in Costco, like for real. So, like my grandmother needed things, like we needed stuff, and my grandfather's like, hell to the no, like he will not go there like when it's jam packed like that, and I don't blame him. And my grandma didn't want to cramp our style, but I'm like, don't worry, I already do that. So went to Costco, And while we're out that way, I'm like, can we go to the Honda dealer? I want to look at the Honda Fit. And it's funny. I'll tell you what's funny. Hold on one second. So no one said, okay, so I'll tell you what's funny. I kind of had I kind of had this list of cars that I was intrigued by for, like, future down the road. Like, car for when mine, like, up and takes a dive. I don't know, it just, like, deflates or a tree falls on it. Or, I don't know. If it's just, like, whatever. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I'm saying. So, you know, I'm like a cute, teeny little something. And I had this list and slowly narrowed it down. And then it was between, like, the Hyundai Veloster and the Fiat 500. And I was just like, I really want the Fiat. I'm going to get the Fiat. It's all about the Fiat. But I did want to, like, compare, you know. So, I mean, I did have, like, some, I want to say Altima, no, Nissan. An Altima is by Nissan. I had, like, the Sentra and, like, the Leaf and, like, the Vesta, or whatever the heck it was, with the Veep. And, like, one's a hybrid. No, the other ones I was like, no. So, for a while, those are my two choices. And then I was leaning towards the Fiat. And I'm like, the Fiat is the way to go. But then, Dan, who knows everything about anything when it comes to cars, because my parents know diddly squat. And you think my dad, who's a dude, would know stuff whenever I ask him questions? He, like, knows squat. Really. So I'm asking Dan questions, and I'm telling him, like, these are my needs and wants and the like, and he's like, the Honda Fit, look that up. Now, I never heard of this dang car before. So I look at it, and I'm like, this thing's huge, it looks big in the photo. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, no. So then I'm like, Fiat, ooh, Fiat. So then, it wasn't until I went to an appointment one day, in the parking lot was a red Fiat. And I kind of got a glimpse of it, and I was like, ooh, maybe I wrote it off too soon. So then I was, like, doing research on it, like, some Googles on it. And according to my Googling, it was, like, out of all, like, what I was looking for as far as, like, compact, subcompact, teeny mini clown cars in a way, it was ranked number one out of, like, everything, you know? It's like, it was always number one. When it looked, I don't know what the heck website I was on, what it was rating, but everything got an excellent, not just, like, a good or a fair, but excellent, like, every category. So I'm like, that's, like, thumbs up. So then I'm like, I have this, like, thing now where I research stuff on YouTube, not just, like, to see if it's a good lipstick or if this mascara really say what it's supposed to do, you know, and listen to, like, actual, like, real live human beings, consumers, like myself, give a review about a product as opposed to, like, a paid spokesperson or celebrity, because then it's just bogus. So I watched, like, these test drives and, like, people giving facts and tours of cars, and I watched videos on the Honda Fit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, it's really roomy, but yet perfect size. Like, I wouldn't want anything bigger than that. And I'm just like, OMG. Like, the visibility in that car is redonkulous. Like, there's windows practically everywhere, but the roof and the floor, I really wish it had, like, if it wasn't a moonroof, at least, or sunroof, whatever the heck you call that thing, I wish there was, like, a glass roof, but hey, what you can do. Because when you look up, it does feel kind of claustrophobic, because you're kind of like, here's my head, here's the roof of the car almost. But honestly, like, okay, so the reason I know that is because, you know, we went to the dealership, and we sat in it, and the dude is like, yeah, my big, tall, like, 7-foot people, you know, like, tall people like Chad and my brother, he's like, I fit them in, I put them in his car, and they like it. So I'm like, if they can fit, hey. So, but like I said, I knew about all the visibilities from watching these videos. And then over time, like, and then let's see, Dan and I, like I said, we went to Whole Foods, and there was one parked in the parking lot, and I was like, I want that. And then the more I've seen, like, looked at it and the more I've seen it and the more like I research on it, the more I've fallen in love with it. And there's this color, like I still want this color in a car. It's either like a navy blue or like an electric like royal blue. It's kind of like schmazzy and sparkly. And I'm like, I want a unique color. And I'm like, that color's like gorgeous. And then Dan was telling me, and I probably mentioned this in another video, but Dan was telling me like you can like get like the Yankees, or as he called it, the Stankies, the Mets, the Jets, or probably the Giants. I don't know. He didn't say the Giants though, but he knows I'm a Yankees fan. Well, he is a Mets fan. License plates, you know, so I'm like, and I'm not talking like personalized, like saying like that's what it says. No, I'm saying like the plate itself is of that, and I'm like picturing this like electric like blue car with Yankee plates, like that would just match perfectly. Even so, I don't know how much expensive like plates like that are, and then you get something custom or personalized. I don't know like much about that or what it cost. I mean, I did want to like deck my car out, and I'm already like decorating it in my head. So it would have, regardless, it would have had like a Yankees logo and a little Jets logo. It would have had like my favorite vacation places, you know, kind of the cliche stuff. But hey, it's my car. But I'd actually make it look like more nice, sophisticated, and be more thoughtful, if you will, as to where I place things. Because I look at my car now and I place certain stickers in spots that I just couldn't. I'm just like, ew, why did I do that? It's like, ew. So, any hoozles. So, I actually got to go looky at it. And I have the brochure in the kitchen, because I could have showed you. But, sitting in it, I was just like, oh my god, I can see. And that's like, is like a number one thing for me. So my mom was like joking around, like maybe I wouldn't bump into so much stuff, because like with the visibility being so big, and I wouldn't like blow up my tires and all that jazz. So I said, it's not like there's a window on the floor, you know. So anyway, they actually, I mean, some are automatic, some are manual. So there actually was just like, see my shirt, I don't know how good this color is gonna come up, but it was like turquoise, like vibrant car. And I was like, my neighbor, I'm like, she wanted a car in that color. She should only know. I should like be like, yo, go check this out. You'll fall in love with the color. So I just sat in like, you know, a whatever one. I know what I mean by that. It didn't have the fancy wheels. There wasn't a color that I was interested in. The color that I was interested in, they had one, but it wasn't a automatic. It was a manual, like the stick shift, which I don't do. And the guy, he's just like, here's the key, like go for a test drive. And I'm like, I don't have my license on me. This is like a spur of the moment thing, and I'm not driving this on this highway. This high highway. It's not a high highway. It's a fast highway on this crazy interstate. No. And plus, I really don't want to do a whole heck of a lot without like my dad there or someone there, or like Dan. I don't know. It's just me and my mom. But sorry. So we're gonna go back and look at it again with my dad and see what he thinks, cause I pointed it out again. It was in that parking lot of this building, and I'm like, maybe it's an employee's car. So he just got a glimpse of it, and he said he liked it just from the glimpse of it, which was like, yahoo! So cause I would've been sad if right off the bat he was like, no, I don't like it. But it's funny because we passed a Fiat today, like driving, and I looked at it in a different light. Maybe it's just because it was like a weird ass like taupe color. It was like boring, but I was kind of like, ew, you look weird. I don't want to be driving that and seeing driving. And I will tell you, like, I haven't honestly test driven the Fiat. I have test driven the Fiat. Hello, I haven't test driven the Honda Fit, and it is the Honda Fit, like FIT. And obviously I think each like dashboard is different, and that's something you have to get used to. But I really want to spend more time with the Honda Fit, and get to know it a little bit better, take it out on the test trip, buy it dinner. No, because the one thing that kind of, well, obviously I had to get adjusted to the dashboard and the Fiat, because I'm like, okay, this speedometer thingy that's telling you how fast you're going is different than how my car read, so I kind of had to get used to that and figure out, okay, like 40 is 40, 20 is 20, but the little dots in between would be like 25, and then the dash sticking out, that's 30. Like, I had to figure all that out. But what I didn't like, honestly, what I didn't like about the Fiat, or what turned me off, the one thing I guess that turned me off was the steering wheel. The steering wheel felt very loose, almost like a car, what am I talking about? A toy steering wheel. Like, it just feels like, you know those like fake steering wheels, or sometimes like you know what a Surrey bike is? I don't know if you know what a Surrey bike is, but it's like, it has like a driver's side with like a legit wheel, and then like a passenger side there's a bit of fake. You can just like twirl it around and around and around. You know, like a fake toy steering wheel, or kind of like a steering wheel on like an arcade like game where you're like a race car driver. It felt like, even though I was like driving and like moving the steering wheel, it just felt very loose, and it didn't feel like, it felt fake almost. And I want something that feels like stable, you know, and safe. So you know, obviously, like, I sat in the Fit today, and I did like have my hand on the wheel. I'm like a left-handed driver. Whew. And it just felt good in my hand, but I didn't like turn it or anything. So we did that, and here I am going on and on and on and on. Oh my gosh, and on and on and on about cars. Whew. But I thought, you know, so then I would do that. So then we went to this new King's restaurant. King's is a grocery store now. There's a new King's grocery store. It's like really big and has like I don't know, it's like really big, and there's like you can get like, what can you get in there besides food? There's like a little restaurant, little cafe thing. It's like you can get like lunch, like you can get like a brick oven pizza, then there's like a hibachi grill, I don't know, there's like all this fancy stuff. So because it's like, they just opened yesterday, like they're giving out like coupons, like $5 coupons off your purchase when you walk in, and they hand you a bag of Yum Yums, and they hand it on to my mom, and I'm just like, what else, probably couldn't eat it, so I just about to head on in, and the lady's like, oh, here you go, hands me it, and I'm like, oh, it's gluten free, I could eat this if I wanted to. But it didn't look, it was like, I don't know what the heck it was, like a cracker or something, like full of seeds. So I just put in my mom's purse. So we're like walking around getting what we needed and wanted. I finally got my chocolate milk. Because like I probably mentioned, I like whole milk. So a friend on Facebook suggested True Moo, and I tried True Moo one time. And it was really good. But I've been like more into like, so you just get like the little teeny bottles. But now I'm actually like drinking this stuff like more frequently. So it's like I want a bigger bottle. And it's like I'm looking, and obviously it's brand new King's. I don't know where the heck everything's at. So it's like there's like some dairy stuff over here. Very small selection. Like, is that it? But then it turns out when you walk down the aisle, there's more this side. So I look and I'm like, oh, there's a True Moo, like carton, not carton, but like a jug of milk, if you will. And I look at it, I'm like, it's like 1%, 2%. It's like not low fat, but like half the fat. And I'm just like, really hell to the no. So then I kept on looking, and I'm like, oh, there's the nice milk in the glass bottles, and they have this chocolate milk. It's gluten free, and it's thick and rich and delish. I'm just like, yum, yum. And then I was just like looking, and this guy's like, excuse me, here's the police, I got out of the way. And there's like, there's the chocolate milk. And I'm thinking, because they have like chocolate milk, but then they have like those like Hershey chocolate shakes stuff, or like fake milk. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. So I just assumed this dude was gonna like pick like something out for his kids that wasn't like, in my opinion, legit chocolate milk. But it's like, here's a True Moon, here's a little bottle to try, because they didn't have like a sample for the kid to taste it. And I was almost gonna be like, FYI, that stuff's the bomb. You're gonna like it. But I didn't say anything. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, I didn't know they had little bottles. And the little bottles were whole milk, but the giant one was less. Not like whole, not less milk, but not like whole milk. So, but then I was like, you know what? I've been really enjoying this like other kind that I found, and it's like gluten free. And the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm thinking about having another glass, because I'm starving to death. You know what? You know it's like bad when you're starving to death and your mother's asleep and you want to like make popcorn, but then like you're afraid the beeping of the microwave will wake her up, or you want to like, I don't know, I might cook in the toaster oven, even though it does make a ding. I don't think that's what bothered her before. Who knows what I'm gonna make for a snack. But anyway, we did that. One of the Kings, the new Kings. Okay. And I think this dude was like flirting with me. He like, his name's Steve, because I read his name tag. And he's just like, so he, I don't know what the hell he was saying. I couldn't hear him. Everyone's like yammering around me. So I'm just like being polite, smiling and nodding. And at one point, my mom turned around, smiles at him. She's like, oh, we already had lunch. I'm like, do you want to make me something? And he's like, yeah, well, not. And my mom's like, you have anything gluten-free? He's like, oh, gluten-free allergy? She's like, yeah. And he's looking at me like, you gluten-free? Yeah. He's like, well, I have rice. I'm like, I can eat rice. He's like, but you couldn't have the noodles, could you? No. He's like, well, unless I like, so he was trying to figure out how he can make me lunch. He's like, lunch. I don't know. He was just like, see you girls tomorrow for lunch. I'm like, whatever. So then we went home to unload the groceries and put our stuff from Costco away. I got, you know what, I ventured, here's a little something for you guys. I've been using fragrance-free hypoallergenic Dove deodorant for sensitive skin, because I got like sensitive armpit issues that like came about last summer, and that was a painful experience I went through. So, but then I noticed like if you get really sweaty, like, and you stank, it doesn't really do much. So what I found myself doing is putting that on, and then I have the pomegranate Dove like body splash and like spritz it under my arms, and I really love the way that smells. So and I'm thinking pretty soon I'd have to replace that, and I was running like pretty soon I was gonna have to get a new deodorant anyway. So what they had in Costco was like 10, 20, 1500. Not really, but you know, like a good amount of pomegranate Dove deodorant. So I'm like, you know what? I might just give this a try, because what I was using was like I was using Secret, and I was using like their clinical strength, and that stuff's like, when you twist it and it comes out, it's a lot and it's gloopy, and you're like really like lobbing it on, and I think that's like what caused the problem. Maybe was too much. So this would just be like not so much, but still give off a nice fragrance scent. So, and then my mom could share it too if she wanted. So that's what, you know, I ventured with, hoping it won't give me a problem. I'll be like dishing it out deodorant as like birthday presents this summer. So then we had to bring this stuff to my grandmother's house, like stuff that they got. But then we realized when we were at the New Kings, we didn't get any chicken for dinner tonight. So what we did was we went to my grandparents, gave them their stuff, sat down with them for like 2 minutes for a little chit chat and talk about cars and everything. And my grandfather thinks I should lease, and my mom's like, no, she can't lease. She hits things. We'd have to like buy the car, because no way could you turn. If you see my car now, if that was a lease, well, good lord, that would not be good. So we're just talking about randomness. Hey. And then we're trying to figure out Easter too. I think we're gonna have Easter at my house, unless my father wants to entertain at his place. Then we're having Easter here at my house. It's gonna be, and it's what's gonna be sad this year is it's gonna be just like me, my parents, my grandparents, and my aunt and uncle, maybe my cousin. Cause my one cousin, he's away at college, so I don't know if he's coming out. My other cousin, I don't know. He'll probably come, but who knows? You never know. And because my brother and his peeps are going to the in-laws this year, so it's gonna be a small little crowd. But I have a tiny little family, so let's see, where was I? Oh, so then we went to a different King's near my grandmother's house and got the chicken, and then on the way there, my mom was we're talking about like she wants to go to Jersey Shore tomorrow because Seaside, you can finally get to it, and I want to take pictures and video. And I'm like, well, then I'm going to need to have lunch, so pack me a sandwich, woman, and make me a sandwich. And she's like, well, what kind of sandwich do you like? I said, I like turkey and cheese and mayonnaise on bread. So she's like, well, then we need to get turkey too. So, and a lemon. So she like placed the turkey order. I got the lemon. I go back, give her the lemon, and she's like, you wait for the turkey breast. I'm like, okay. So I'm just like standing there, and no one's like, can I help you? Like, no one's assisting me whatsoever. And at one point I saw this one guy that was over by like the seafoody part was gonna be like, what can I get for you? But no. So then as I see him put the stuff on the scale, I start to walk over, and he's like, oh, and the young guy was like, I'll be with you in a minute. I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm just here to pick this up. He's like, oh, anything else? I'm like, no. And they're like stared at each other and smile. And then I found my mommy, and then we got on like the little like express lane, like 10 items or less, and paid for our stuff. And clearly that cashier was happy to see me. I don't know him. I've never seen him before. And we're walking out. My mom's like, what's this grocery cashier's liking you? And I'm like, I know, it's weird. I'm like, and turns out behind the deli now too. Because when I was like, I don't know, in high school maybe, I remember this guy was like flirting with me at another grocery store. And I'm like, every time they all flirt with me in grocery stores, my hair's grungy, I don't have makeup on, I'm like not dressed to the nines. Like, and they're flirting away with me, like, wow. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, I said something about Dan and the night we met. She's like, you remember the night you met? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what, you've never seen him before? I was like, I don't remember him from like, because before Stop and Shop was Stop and Shop, it was Grand Union. And I was like, I don't remember him before those days. But I know he was around. I don't remember seeing him. I just remember our first encounter, like, face to face. And then I told her the story of how we met. And then she suggested that we became friends. And I was kind of like, I don't know him. What are you talking about? I don't want to date him. What? Like, I'm not my boyfriend. What? And she's just like, no, I'm not telling you to date him. Like, just be his friend. You guys seem like you have things in common, or you've been through similar stuff. Like, just, that's all I'm saying is you'd be nice to have a new friend. So then I eventually caved. I caved in, and I'm like, alright, get his last name. We know his name's Dan. Give me his name. Let me find him on that Facebook. I'm like, and the next thing you know, we became lovers. No, we actually were friends first, and then we dated, and now we're friends again. It's funny how the world works, isn't it? So then, my dad came over for dinner, and in this video, it was like mucho long. And the funniest thing is I'm like in love with Stop and Shop brand honey mustard. Who would have thought, right? You would have thought I wanted like something fancy, but no, I'm like loving it. And so, cause when you put a lot, I was talking like a lot on the chicken, it gets the chicken nice and juicy. So we had chicken corn and baked potatoes for dinner. And then my mom's like, you want to watch a show, Pretty Little Liars? And I'm like, do I ever? So we're talking about it, and because I was telling my dad the story about how I came across that show, because he didn't know. Because I asked him, like, because I figured I told the whole world, so I'm like, did I tell you? No, so I told him. It was not really an interesting story, but anyway. So then, my mom's like cleaning up some of the dishes and we're talking. And then he's like, oh, I watched some at home on Netflix. I was like, yeah, well, Chad was going to do the same thing. But then, he didn't want to, like, devastate me, so he didn't do it. And my dad, you should have seen the look on his face. It was priceless. My mom's like, devastate? I'm like, that's kind of a harsh word, a strong word. I'm like, he didn't want to disappoint me. Like, we were watching it, and he was going to watch it, but then his computer screen was too small, and he figured he'd wait for me, so we're, like, in sync on the show. So my dad's he watched 2 episodes, because I put it on. He's like, I saw this episode. And my mom's like, no, this is the recap. Like, previously on Pretty Little Liars. And then they do a little synopsis of the last episode. So I'm like, this is not the one yet. And then it starts, and he's like, I saw this one. And I'm like, I want to watch it again. Because it's been, like, a long time since, like, I've seen him, like, from the beginning. So the first 2 that we watched, he saw already. Because he seemed kind of bored. Because he's like, all right, after this, no more. And I'm thinking, was it, like, what? But then, let me tell you something, though. The way the second one ended, it was, like, a cliffhanger. So he kind of, like, wanted to see a third. And then was like, then that's it. So I just, like, paused it or whatever. And then he's like, because I was unsure if he wanted to watch another one or he wanted to watch something else. So he's like, well, I'm like, whatever you want. And then he's asked my mom if she wanted to watch something. Because she was just, like, half into the show. So then we put on the regular TV and watch. And then you want to know what's funny? So we got some Big Bang Theories recorded. And, yeah, my mom's like, oh, I haven't seen this one. And there was like a night or 2 that my mom wasn't home. I don't know what she was doing. Probably errands or something. And my dad and I watched them without her. I think my mom had to go to my grandmother's. Yeah, because my grandma thought she had to go to the hospital. So my mom went over to check up on her. So my dad and I watched a few without my mom. So I'm thinking, obviously my mom hasn't seen it, so my dad had to have seen it. Because I swear I've seen every episode from season 1 all the way through season 6. So we start watching it, and they're laughing hysterically because obviously it's funny, but they're like laughing extra hard because they swear on their lives, I think, that they've never seen this one before. I'm like, I've seen it. How come you people haven't seen it? Like, rarely ever do I watch the show without them, and if I do, it's like, I think, ooh, this is a really funny one to watch with Dan, and I save it, but we've all seen it before. So I don't think I've ever watched one without them that they haven't seen, or at least watch it by myself. So I'm giving them weird looks, and my dad's like, don't look at me like that. I'm like, don't tell me you've lost your marbles. Seriously? I'm like, if people haven't seen this one, I'm like, don't you remember Leonard's girlfriend? Like, she has quite a cameo for a while. Like, telling me you don't remember. And they're like, I swear, we never saw this one. And then they were convinced that there was a bunch of other ones I haven't seen. And I'm like, getting old, people. You're losing your marbles. So we did that. Then my dad went home, obviously. And now here I am. But I've been on Facebook. And you know what? I love this new little feature. For like the iPhone and the iPads and probably like iPod Touches and maybe Mackie Macs. I don't know, but what it is, you probably guys know about this, but can you see my screen? It's like, you can like leave a 60-second message. Like, hold on.
Hey Chad, what is your opinion on all of this?
I don't know if you could hear that.
I think at times that makes sense, but like for like a pool party,
So like basically you just like, you'd hit this plusy button here. Oops. Then you have this button here. Crap. Oh, here it is. See this circle? You just hold it, press hold, and then you talk. So, and then done, whatever, and it sends off. So, basically, because we started out, we were doing that earlier, Chad and Tess and I, earlier, we were, like, all doing that, and then because we started out, like, texting, if you will, like, typing, and then we reverted to that, and then I'm like, I gotta go, y'all talk amongst yourselves, and then we're just, like, you know, again, we just go back and forth, but all night long, mostly it's just been, like, me and Tessa doing that, and we're like, Chad, like, say something, even if you want to type it, not speak it, but he's kind of quiet tonight. Maybe he's tired. So, that's what I was doing. Yeah. This, can you see? You see this faucet? Whoa, oh my gosh, I dropped something. Whoa. You see that? It drips. We need to call a plumber or something, because it won't stop. And if you can hear this, it is like a pain in the buttocks. Wow, this is a long video. Apparently I had a lot to talk about because I'm bored. I'm like awake. I'm not tired. I mean, I'm kind of tired, but I'm more hungry. I think once I eat, I'll feel satisfied. Like I can just like put my pajamas on and chill in bed. But I mean, honestly, these last couple of days, I've been like so much on this old canoodle right here that it's been like driving me wonkers. Even though I've like spoken to people about it, which has been very helpful. But still, it's just like, oh my gosh. So, like I mentioned earlier in this video, we're going to get up tomorrow and we're going to drive down to the shore. So,